Hey there everybody, Kopika here. Welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth. In this episode, we are going to head to Riku's old island, Destiny Island. And, we're going to go ahead and see what's the dealio behind this. Since Zexion gave it to us, hey, it must be probably a good card. I mean, what's it going to be? It can't be a trap for all we know. But actually, the difference is that with Riku is that it's just like how the plot thickens for Sora and Destiny Island, the same thing is actually going to be happening with Riku as well. Except with Riku, it's obviously going to be a bit reversed. But anyways, overall, everything is all cool. The island is still the same. Unlike with Sora's main Destiny Island visit is essentially, oh, these are your friends, they're all cool, they're chummy. But for Riku's side of the story, it's completely different. Since Riku basically kind of gave in to the darkness in Kingdom Hearts 1, he's essentially been ostracized by his friends. And, this basically ends up showcasing that as a whole. Not only are you being neglected by your friends completely, your friends don't trust you anymore because you are at fault that the island was destroyed because you wanted to leave or some crap. But anyways, this map is not really that big per se. We won't be getting into a bigger map until the next level area. That one's a much bigger map and it's more annoying. But I kind of looked through the map. Then I looked through the deck first. Now, the deck is basically as basic as it can be. You got some high level cards, you got some low level cards. But I will say your main goal of actually killing your opponent is actually going to be Luxius. Luxius has the capability of using a move called Warp Break. What Warp Break does is that it essentially has the chance of killing your opponent in one hit. It's really good, but I wouldn't really recommend trying to use it against enemies that are resistant to it, but most of the enemies at this point are not resistant to it, so you can basically use it whenever you wish. The only enemy I found out that is resistant to it is the black mushroom, which is weird. I didn't think that they would actually be resistant to it, but then again, they're resistant to anything except that that's not gravity, so what are you gonna do? Now, this cutscene plays in 358 over 2 days, and as I stated before, I will not be playing 358 over 2 days, because in reality, Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to really go into a little bit of snippet details of KH of 358 over 2 days, so I don't really need to get to it. But overall, Zexion is basically saying, you're at the fault, it's your fault, anyways, enjoy cutscene.
Huh? Huh? This is... that night!
All of the islands you grew up on were sundered, scattered. Many hearts were forever lost to the darkness. Because of what you did! You hated being an islander, so you opened the door to darkness and destroyed the islands. It was you! You were pulled into the darkness then, and now you belong to the darkness. You should look at what you truly are!
And now it is time for us to fight Darkseid once again, and just like Sora's version of Darkseid, this Darkseid is just as pathetic. Does the same exact moves, just a little bit faster in the remake, unlike in the original, which he basically didn't do them as fast. I wouldn't recommend dueling him because you're not going to hit him at all. I'm just going to warn you right now. The only duel move that could probably hit him, which probably will be Impulse, since you do a fire attack first and then you kind of jump in the air, but you won't hit him with the shockwave. But every time you break Darkseid, as you notice, he always staggers a bit and kind of resets his pattern, so you kind of don't really want to use any dueling mechanics at all. What you do want to do, however, you want to go into dark mode, use full advantage of dark mode, and essentially, wail at his face since his face is his weakest point. I try to go ahead and be quick, but the thing about Chain of Memories I always find is that I'm thinking slow. So I kind of get a bit of damage here, not by much, like he's almost dead at this point, but I don't get enough. But at this point, we're essentially going to be going through this normally now. So I don't really try to duel him because I know that it's a bad idea. And I also notice how the dark points disappear now. If you get broken, you lose 1 dark point. But if you get hit, you lose more dark points. Okay, I just lied there because apparently I had 20 and I just lost like 2 for some reason. Okay, never mind. Depending on the number of how much you got broken by, that's the amount that you lose. But if you get hit, you actually lose more dark points because you're getting hit multiple times. I mean, that's usually the case for a lot of things, am I right? Anyways, we are almost done with this game. We are gonna finish it because I have been holding on to this LP for ransom for a long time, and I really apologize. And it's just that it was 2 reasons. 1, my mood of commentating wasn't really there, and 2, I didn't want to force myself because I know if I forced myself, my commentary would sound fake, and you don't want that. Nobody ever wants that. Anywho, that is the end of Darkseid. Darkseid still does the same exact abilities. I never actually use them, but who cares? At this point, I am focusing on attack and health. I could care less about my D points because D points at 20 is fine as is. And I recommend you doing that too if you actually want to have a more comfortable time. But anyways, we have more cutscenes.
Sora! Sora!
Now, just like the fight with Darkseid before you end up fighting her, you do have a choice to go back to the save point, but there is none, so just talk to Sora.
Sora, it's me. Oh! What? Stop it, Sora! Don't you recognize me?
Yeah, I recognize you. I can see exactly what you've become. How can the light hurt you? Riku, have you really become a creature of the dark? You're not Riku anymore. You're just a pawn of the darkness. So be it. It's time for you to face the light!
I'm fading. Fading away into the light.
You won't fade. You can't fade. There's no power that can defeat you. Not the light, not the dark. So don't run from the light, and don't fear the darkness, because both will make you stronger.
Make me stronger? Darkness too?
Yeah, strength that's yours. The darkness inside your heart, it's vast and it's deep. But if you can, truly stare into it and never try to look away, you won't be afraid of anything again.
All this time I've tried to push the darkness away.
You've gotta just remember to be brave. Know that the darkness is there and don't give in. If you do that, you will gain strength. The kind that's unlike any other. You'll be able to escape the deepest darkness.
And I'll be able to see through the brightest light.
Follow the darkness. It'll show you the way to your friends.
Can I face them?
You don't want to?
You know I do. Of course. And I will. With my strength. My dark strength. Darkness!
Impossible! How is it that you found me when you were there in the light?
You reek of darkness. Even the light can't block the smell. I guess I followed the darkness right to you.
This is absurd. Then I shall make you see that your hopes are nothing. Nothing but a mere illusion!
And now it is time to fight what is known as the Illusion Scholar, Zexion. Now, Zexion's fight is actually pretty unique compared to Luxius, Vexen, Larxene, Marluxia, and all of them. Zexion actually utilizes abilities such as illusion abilities. He will sometimes grab you and also end up taking your cards and putting fake ones back into your deck. Using the fake ones will cause damage to you and also will probably do absolutely nothing. He will use a tornado to also suck up your cards as well. He will also use clones that will utilize your Soul Eater Keyblade to his advantage. Your goal is to essentially never give Zexion a chance, but that's usually never the case half of the time, because trying to actually be sure that Zexion gets no sort of attack is almost near impossible. Now, this fight can go pretty bad if you don't know how to get your cards back. I always wonder that you probably have to hit the book to get your cards back, not the clones. Yes, you can hurt the clones, but I kind of recommend going after the books, because the books might actually be able to give you your cards back. Another thing I should mention, during this fight, this is the only fight that this happens. I kind of wish it happens in other fights after this point, but you are in infinite dark mode. So, luckily enough, when you are in dark mode, you have a good defensive stat, so you don't end up getting murdered very quickly, because in all honesty, if you did not have any sort of defensive stat, this fight actually would have been really, really annoying. Zexion doesn't really have that much powerful cards at his disposal, as you can tell by looking at his slight cards. So, you can pretty much beat him without any worries, but overall, if you remember, just be calm, don't rush with your slates, you'll be pretty good. He ends up trying to use one of his 3 cards, but I say no to that. I use Dark Faraga, and he's dead. And that's it. That's pretty much the entire fight in a nutshell. Like, if you know how to be able to kind of manipulate the battle, you can pretty much win. You can also try to duel him. I wouldn't really recommend doing that, because I usually never try to duel him, because I know how difficult that can be. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We got the Zexion card. Zexion causes confusion, and enjoy more stuff.
After all your protests, you're still like us on the side of darkness.
I know who I am.
When did that happen? You were always terrified of the dark before.
Not anymore!
And sadly, that's the only time we ever will be able to be in infinite dark mode. Unless, you use a Game Genie or a Game Shark or whatever the hell you would use back in the PS2 era and allow yourself to have infinite dark points. I mean, here's the thing. Being in infinite dark mode is pretty good, because it's actually nice to just wail on your opponent. But to be fair, you're still basic Riku anyway, so you're still kind of have to deal with a lot of being broken a lot. So yeah. But overall, that's it. That's actually it for Destiny Island. Destiny Island is pretty short. The next area we're going to be heading to is Twilight Town, and you're probably wondering, why the crap are we heading back to Twilight Town, considering it has nothing to do with Riku at all? I don't know. But anyways, that is the end of this episode of Kingdom Hearts Re.Chain of Memories Reverse Rebirth. In the next episode, we'll be going ahead and seeing what happens to Zexion, and we will hopefully end up meeting our dear, funny Disney mouse, Mickey Mouse. I've been Kopika, and I'm seeing you guys next time. Laters!